I know what you're thinking. 2 Jason action figure reviews on Friday the 13th? I love you too, guys. I know. I'm spoiling you. I can't resist. It's Friday the 13th. It's Jason Day. It's his birthday. Happy birthday, Jason Voorhees. Guys, I am reviewing Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. Now I am over the moon and so friggin' pumped about this action figure. Why, you ask? Well, it's basically an accessory pack. He's got tons of weapons, and I mean ton. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's got 7 weapons in his inventory in this box. This is a Jason toy come true. Look how much deliciousness is in this box. I think that Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. Jason is cool. Nothing beats this mother. Holy cow. It's so awesome. Damn, like I'm so excited for this action figure, guys. So let's get to the review. Let's check out NECA's Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. And here it is, Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. If we just take a little quick gander inside, we can see all the amazing accessories that this Jason comes with. And normally, you wouldn't see all of these beautiful weapons and accessories unless it was in a Ultimate Style box. So for some reason, I think this is an Ultimate Style box. The Jason from Part 6 or Part 4 did not come with all of this beautiful goodness. So again, I think this is an Ultimate Style box for an ultimate style Jason. On the cover here, we have the cover of the film. It's amazing. Of course, this is Jason and what's her name? Tina! There it is. She is the telepath that fights Jason in this film in a crazy, crazy brawl. I actually really, really love that sequence. On Friday the 13th, Jason is back, baby. And I love that, but this time, someone is waiting. Let's flip over to the side here. Almost looks like a shot straight from the film, to be honest. It looks spot on. We got Friday the 13th, The New Blood, Part 7, The New Blood, down there by NECA Real Toys. The back is very, very cool. Up top here, we have Jason wearing his mask, and I love this part, this broken, chipped off part in the mask here. We can actually see part of his jaw and his teeth here. That is so sick. This is why he's the creepiest, scariest looking Jason of all time. Here, of course, we have a product shot of Jason's mask breaking as we see in the film. Anyway, it's cool that we actually get this kind of accessory. Like we have a broken Jason mask. That's very neat. Over here, again, we have Jason maskless here. He looks pretty damn pissed in the movie without his mask, let me tell you. And these 2 shots down here are my favorite. Jason with his, like, forestry spear axe thing. I love this chainsaw here. Definitely my favorite weapon kill of the movie is with this. So that's very cool. I love that. Let's flip over to the side here, and it's the exact same panel as we had earlier, and that is it for the box decor. Very, very nice. Let's just pop this guy open again so we can take a closer look at all the goodness. If NECA came out with like a camp set to go with your Friday the 13th, you know, even camp counselors, how sick would that be? This is the showstopper. This is Jason from the movie. He looks absolutely tremendous. We see, of course, his maskless head up here, but we do have another head here with the mask not broken. We do see the mask down there that is broken in half. There's 2 pieces in there. Of course, we get the spear, we get the chainsaw, we get the axe, we get the machete, we get the spike, we get the hatchet. It's cool that we actually get the spike too, because that's a very significant part of the film and not part of Jason's, you know, everyday arsenal. He looks so phenomenal, and I can't wait to bust him out. He honestly looks like the greatest Jason of all time when it comes down to action figures. I said with the other Jason review that was like a dream come true. Man, is this one also a damn dream come true, especially with the incredible arsenal that we have that is included with this Jason box. So, without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and bust this guy out of here. And here he is, everyone, Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. This is a phenomenal, and I mean phenomenal action figure. I have messed around with him for a good 20 minutes, played around with his accessories, swapped him in and out of his hands, and man, oh man, I've articulated him, swapped his head out. This is by far one of the coolest action figures I have, straight up. Look at all this. There's so many weapons. He comes with a lot of stuff, and I can't wait to get right into it. Equipped in Jason's hand right now, we have the machete and the kitchen knife, the chef's knife, the Michael Myers special. We do actually see we actually do see Jason use the kitchen knife in the movie, which is actually really cool. It is very well done with quite the amount of detail on it, to be honest. We have a nice silver blade. It's bendable like a little bit, like your standard NECA accessory. It's not gonna break on you. Very detailed handle as well. I like that nice classic wooden handle on this knife here, and I like that we have actually the little screws to hold the blade in the handle as well. The handle itself actually has some really nice dry brushing and a really good looking wash on it as well. I like that the steel follows through to the spine of the knife handle, just like a real knife. Very, very nice accessory. Great way to kick things off in this Jason deluxe pack here. The machete, not so detailed, but you know what? It's just as good as a machete needs to be. We have a nice silver blade here. No dry brushing or inking on this blade or the kitchen knife blade. The handle is alright. It is just a straight up black handle with metal studs and screws again to hold that handle in place. His hatchet's pretty sweet. I actually really, really like his hatchet. Definitely better than both the knife and the machete in my opinion. The handle is a nice wood grain, and the metal, the blade itself has a little wash to it. It is silver and it has a black wash on it. And there is blood stains, not real blood stains, there is blood stains all over the blade and on the handle of the axe. Very cool. I love the shape of it as well. Has that nice curve. The spike that the entire movie is basically based around. I shouldn't say based around, but this has a very big significance in the film and the main character. I'm not going to get into it, but do be careful when you are equipping Jason with it. And I say that because you can see here that there's this little piece of plastic here that kind of hangs off, and it also on the inside there. You got to be careful not to snap that off. I'm trying to be very careful with it. It feels pretty sturdy, but it's so small and thin, it's gonna break if you're not careful. So when you're gonna equip Jason with it, I would suggest going from the bottom and through up the top here, so you're not actually getting him to touch that little peg there. As you can see, his hand's not even close to it, so it's nice and safe and protected. And of course, as you can tell, there's a ton of blood all over it. We're not even close here. We got a few more left. This is the awesome sickle. I love when he uses this in the film. But you can't hide from Jason. You can't crawl underneath a fence or nothing. Here we have a nice standard silver blade. No dry brushing, no inking on it whatsoever, which is okay. The handle, the wood handle, is also very nice. Again, you can kind of see the blade, the metal blade on the spine of that handle, and you have the two studs in the handle as well to hold that blade in. The handle itself, nice wood grain look, and is also stained and inked with a little darkness in there, so it gives it a little weathered old look, as it should be. It was found in a barn, so all right, I love this weapon. It's a nice silver blade, as you can see, not too easily, but you can tell that the center, the interior part, not the edging. You can tell the edging is nice, bright silver blade, but the interior part is like a darker gray. It's like almost like a gradient from this tip all the way down here. Very nice effect. Gives it like a nice rusty old look. And we have this red guard here. No inking or anything on there. I wish there was a little bit more weathering on that red and the silver bolts holding the blade in there. The handle itself is just, you know, just a wooden looking color. It is very lightly inked. It's very hard to see, but there is a lot of, there is ink to it, especially down here by the base, and I don't even honestly know if the camera is picking it up. Very cool accessory, goes in his hands like no problemo. Now I do wish this weapon was a little bit longer. As you can tell, it basically, you know, his grip is as wide as the entire weapon itself, and I thought it was a little longer than that in the movie. I could be wrong, but yeah, you can tell I swapped out the hands, the original hands that were in the box. Oh, he was in the box. I didn't actually talk about the figure yet. Wow, we're still on the accessories. Yeah, here's his hands that came in box. Very cool. I did swap him out for the gripping hands so you can actually see him holding these weapons in action. Very, very cool accessory here. Probably one of my favorite in the entire box. Definitely, you know what? Probably my second favorite. The last weapon that Jason comes with, and that is the saw, the chainsaw. This is the weapon he uses. Lots of details on this thing. First off, the blade does actually spin. I do wish you could just like flick it and it would just continue spinning. That would be awesome. The blade is actually quite durable. It's silver. It does have a nice like brown wash to it to make it look either rusty, old, like it's in a barn. It actually does look like it's filled with soot and like it's been sitting around for a long time. The inking is there. It's definitely present, and they did a really good job with it. The red down here, nice tone, nice red tone. Also has a nice ink job as well. No dry brushing, only inking here. Let's go on with the handle. Nice black handle that Jason could grip onto. Nothing too special about that. Do be careful though when you are putting this in his hand. I put it in his hand earlier, and I was very, very careful with what I was doing because I did not want these spokes or these handles, this handle to break or anything. This you really got to be careful with. Here is a trigger that you don't really want Jason's hand to be touching. You don't need to do anything with it. It's not mechanical. It doesn't do anything. And it's cool. Black handle, no wash or anything. You get some studs in there for some more details. We have this red motor back here. All the washes on that motor. It looks very, very nice. Silver studs and screws and nuts and bolts in there. I love the little cable. You'll see this cable here. Do be careful with it. You don't want to be, you know, tugging on it or getting Jason's hands stuck on there. The black motor back here looks really, really nice. It's just flat black. There's nothing to it. No dry brushing. I wish there was a little dry brushing on there. The little gas nozzle where you unscrew, fill the gas in. Here's the choke. You can actually see the choke of the chainsaw here. I was gonna say chain sword. You see the silver motor in there. You can see a lot of silver. That is actually inked, and it has like a brown and black ink in there. I spent a lot of time on this weapon, but that is because it is a phenomenal-tastic weapon. I actually really like this, and it definitely deserves a lot more attention. We have a second head for Jason. Now, I did swap this out earlier. You can actually use this mask on this head, but because his mouth is open in here, the mask actually doesn't really line up properly. His mouth is a little bit showing right there. His mouth is open like he's like screaming. And you know what? I'm just gonna put this head on right now, and to do that, all you gotta do, like every other toy, you just pop this off. Be careful. Boom. Head's off. The chain actually is very cool. It's loose, so it's almost like an accessory in itself. It is a plastic chain. It's not a metal chain or anything, which is totally cool with me. It's a quality chain. It's not gonna break on you or anything. You don't really need to do anything with it, but just wrap it around his neck and just rest it like that. Take that secondary head and pop it on there. I think it's on there. It usually makes a clicking sound, but I didn't hear it, but I think it's on there. And you just kind of rest it on. Now, there is a little peg hole in the back there. As you can see, there's a little hole there. Stick it in. There we go. And it kind of just sits on his face like that. It's a weird display, but it's really cool. Now, he doesn't have this weapon in his hand when it happens, but if you want to reenact the scene, that's basically it. Look how spot on and perfect that is. Again, I'm probably not going to feature or display him like this. It'll be cool for some photos, but honestly, it's one of those like Easter egg cool things to include in a pack, you know, just to pay homage to the movie. And honestly, they pay an amazing homage to Friday the 13th, New Blood here. Now that we're done with the accessories, guys, let's actually talk about the figure itself. I would talk about this forever. I could spend an hour talking about the details and the beautiful sculpt work on here. Look at all the tears in his pants here. Really love that. What really shines is not only does the sculpt shine, all the rips, all the tears, all the bones that stick out, all the ribs. Look at the back, you see the spine. That's brutal. Look how sick that is. And you actually see that in the movie. It's crazy. What really makes this thing super special is the sheer amount of paint application on this guy. He is covered in paint from head to toe, and there is nothing bad about it. There is not a single error mistake on this guy. Let's take a closer look. Let's take a closer look here. You just see like the nice skin tone, the, I guess, rotting skin tone. It's all bloody and bruised and white and fleshy and torn. Wow, I love that you can actually see the kneecap. It's just so crazy. And I do want to mention that there's a lot of soft plastic on this and soft rubber. So you can actually see here, I'm just gonna mess around with his feet for a quick sec. You can see that there's this like soft flap here. The pants themselves and like the rips and tears, you can see that they're, you know, malleable right there, right? So you can actually move him and move all the details wherever you really want. You can take a look at underneath the fabric to see all the beautiful paint job. Not that much detail on the boots, unfortunately. The Jason from part 4 still has the most detail on his boots, but this looks really nice. It doesn't take that much of a paint job to apply little buckles here and there. I love the bottom of the boots. He has probably the best detail on the bottom of the boots. Nice grip on, it looks like my boots. I love that. It looks so sick. Bananas. I never thought he would have like these kind of combat boots, because the one from part 6 doesn't have combat boots. They're basically just shoes is what he wears. I don't know where he got this upgrade, but it is an upgrade nonetheless. The diaper thing that you always hear me say that I hate looks fantastic. Just like on the part 6 Jason, this one almost looks as cool, and it's rubbery, you know, his groin area. It's all soft rubber, so you know it doesn't impede any of the movement in his legs, which we'll get to the articulation soon enough. And here's a nice example of the soft rubber, so you can lift off his shirt here and reveal his crazy six-pack. He doesn't really have a six-pack, but it's definitely nicely toned and muscular in there. Paint job, again, phenomenal, very scabby and rotted. Yeah, the chain, I already talked about the chain. It's actually nicely painted with a nice ink on there. Dry brush, orange, dry brush, brown. Give it a nice rust look. I don't know what lake water does to, you know, beige pants over time, but it has some kind of acidic effect on his khakis, and now he's all green. Unlike the part 6 Jason, the forearms on this Jason are nicely painted. His hands look phenomenal. I love that you can actually see the bones and the tendons in the back of his hand, you know, like you see all those very nice detail on those hands. All the grossness, his black fingertips and black nails are really visible and showing. There's just so much on him. I can literally talk about him forever in every spec of this action figure. I know some of you guys out there do like these in-depth looks at these toys, but I can go on forever and ever. Now let's take a look at the back of Jason, because this honestly is the showstopper for me. Beautiful details we can see the back, the spinal cord, and we can see the scapula, and we can see the shoulder blade back here. Now we can't really move the shirt aside to get a better look underneath, but you know, there's so you can definitely see and tell there's all the detail under there. NECA definitely, oh, there we go. You can see the bottom of the, there we go, look at that. Bottom of the spinal cord. I love how like long those rips are. It reminds me of high school. The ripped pants kind of just like go over his boot. And even on the other side kind of does, you know, the same on the back. Rips and tears, rips and tears. That's what this guy is. Rips and tears, bones, blood, goo, and all that deliciousness. There we go. You heard that snap that time. But let's just take a closer look at these heads together, eh? 2 heads are better than 1. 2 Jason heads are better than 1, that's for sure. I love that his mouth is open here, and you can definitely see all those teeth. Very gruesome and disgusting. Let's use the machete as a pointer. You can see like this little piece of flesh here just dangling. Little flesh dangles on this guy. And actually you can see the same little flesh dangle on the other head right here. You can see the bone around his, I guess, his left eye. Lots of nice detail there. Look how cool that head is. Ugh, disgusting, but cool. If you're wondering why there's cuts in the side and the top of his head, well, like I mentioned in this review, if you guys watched that one, that this is actually where Tommy Jarvis actually gets his machete in part 4 and puts it in his skull. That is the wrong Jason. He actually strikes him in the side of the head. That's where this cut comes from. I love the little details on the nose here. He's got like a weird little pig nose. You can see that his actual nostrils are in there. And next, let's go ahead and check out all of his articulation. Now, it is mirrored on both sides, so I only need to check out the one side of Jason. So we're gonna check out his left side, starting out with his foot. It is on an ankle rocker, and you can move it in and out, up and down, and you can actually rotate it just a little bit. It is fairly snug still. I haven't like warmed it up or blasted it with a hairdryer or anything. So there we go. You can see I'm starting to be able to rotate it a little bit more now. He has a single jointed knee, which is not bad. I'm not gonna complain about a single jointed knee on Jason. I don't think he needs a double jointed, and I think it would make him look a little silly. Maybe it would affect the coolness and awesomeness that is the sculpt on this guy. So I'm totally cool with the single jointed knee there. He can actually do the splits kind of fairly well, right? It's not bad, not bad. Of course, we're never ever gonna see Jason do the splits. And let's see if he makes the same noise. He makes the same noise. They all just wanna shake their legs and dance. His thigh, you can actually kick out, you can kick forward. Again, this diaper thing that he has going on does not impede the movement at all on the articulation here on his leg. He can kick it back quite far as well. Very nice articulation in the leg here on Jason. Let's go on to his torso. He does have a lower swivel down here in that cut, lower cut swivel. There you go. You can rotate it left, you can rotate it right. He does have a nice torso cut up here underneath the pecs, and this one actually just rotates like butter right all the way around. He doesn't have a crunch that much. He only has like a little bit of crunch, as you can see there. Moving on up, we have his shoulders. Now, this is as far as you can actually move his shoulders. Honestly, that's as far as you really need to move Jason's shoulders, so I'm not going to complain. You can actually really you can rotate it all the way around. Looks and feels great. It's totally fine. And he does have a double jointed elbow. Check that out. So it is different than the single jointed elbow on the part 6 Jason, and it's great. We're gonna need this double jointed elbow, especially if we want to equip him, which we will, with this chainsaw. So he does have a rotation right here below the bicep all the way around there, and you can also rotate it just above the forearm right there. So you have the rotation here and you have the rotation there. So I'll show you guys. There we go. It's a little harder for me to get my chunky hands in there, especially when he hasn't really been loosened up that much. There we go. So you can see me rotating a little bit, and his wrist, it is on a rocker, so you can move it in and out, up and down. You can rotate it up and down. Last but not least, let's check out his head. He can move it up, look up fairly well. Look at that, eh? That's crazy. And you can make him look down. Very nice. You can rotate it all the way around. And that is all the articulation on Jason, guys. It's very well done. There's no part of this action figure that I think is really bad in my opinion. All the articulation, phenomenal. I love the double jointed elbows and the single jointed knees really don't bother me at all. I'm a big fan of just like the flexibility in his legs. He looks thick, big and chunky, yet he actually has some really, really good movement. Now, I actually did forget to mention, I saw this and I wanted to mention, I completely forgot to. This is the backing that Jason comes with, and it's actually really, really cool. I love this. This is actually the dock where Tina drowned her dad when she was just a little girl. So I just realized as I was getting ready for the next part of this review that you can actually rotate his knees. Look at that. Just like the part 6 Jason, you can rotate his knees and his calf. That is awesome. I thought I had to let you guys know because that is a cool piece of articulation that will, again, come in handy. Now let's go ahead and compare him to other Jasons that I have in my collection. Jason from part 7 is by far my favorite Jason. Yes, I do love the part 6. He is my favorite Jason of all time. He's my favorite Jason in the films, in all films, but toy-wise, this is my favorite Jason. Just the way NECA was able to capture all the details, all the paint job, all the beautiful film accurate representation of this Jason. Like, it's just phenomenally executed, and I don't think they could have done a better job. Everything about that figure is perfect. These figures are great. Some of them have their faults, but I don't think there's a single fault in this Jason the New Blood action figure from NECA. So overall, well, I don't really need to say much about this Jason action figure. You guys have heard me fall in love with this guy time and time again throughout this video. If you're a Friday the 13th fanatic or just a fan in general, I highly recommend picking this action figure up. You will not regret it. You'll actually thank me for it. And the last thing I'm gonna say is this is by far my favorite Jason Voorhees action figure of all time, and definitely, most definitely, the coolest and the most killer action figure in my entire collection. Alright everyone, thanks for checking out my review of Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a like, share it with all your collector friends, and let me know down in the comments if you have this figure and what you like or don't like about it. I want to know who your favorite Jason is, and definitely let me know which is your favorite Friday the 13th in the entire franchise. I'll be posting more photos of Jason Voorhees on my Instagram, which you can check out at Claudio's Collection, so follow me there for more content. Thanks again for watching, and you can catch me in the next one.